Days like today, I realized that making these videos, if anything, it's really for me right now. What I mean by for me, although I'm making it for you, as fun as it can be, listening to a guy talking about his life, it's almost like therapeutic, being able to speak out things. Like, do a little, a little fluff talk, just talk about life, what's going on, but then the real purpose is talking about the power of being able to navigate your emotions and feelings. And what I'm learning, and what I have learned, and what I have been applying. So today, I did realize how, man, this is big, being able to just share these thoughts. Most important though is not sharing just my thoughts, but getting out into the world this thing that life has given me to recognize, to document, to digitize it, and then life gives this incredible experience of a few days, well, more like a few weeks, and to this day still just things are being challenged in how I think, but feelings and emotions are always coming up, and so much. This past couple of weeks, today I realized I'm around so many people. And if you've seen my Instagram account yesterday, my personal one, Alexi Katko, the Instagram, there was thousands of people walking around Waikiki Beach, store after store after store for like miles. And like, wow, the opulence is staggering, just staggering. Restaurants after restaurants, and you got your Rolexes, like I said in a previous video, all kinds of stuff. But really, this big blob of human beings is based on just small units, a small unit group of friends or family. And today it dawned on me, I want to create a unit, a family. And that's where I'm at with that. And with that comes its own emotions and feelings, which leads me to an interesting one. Today, as I was sitting at a coffee shop, taking notes, but also reading through this handy dandy fat. Look at that. Wow! I'm halfway through it. They don't read every page, but a lot of the acts and laws that have come from last year. It's called the Session Laws of Hawaii. So as I'm reading through that, sitting here looking out the window, I was like, I had this imagination of something happening outside, and then all of a sudden my brain kicked in as if it was like happening, and then I felt this feeling. And then later on that day, I was watching a short video on YouTube or Shorts or whatnot, shorts. And so it created that same feeling. And I've been recognizing this feeling since, let's call it a sensation for now, because I don't have a word for it. You might confuse it with anxiety or nervousness or excitement, but it's none of those. It's a very unique feeling. It's like your heart and that energy just like rotating. It's not going anywhere. It's not going up into your head. It's just there. And you're like, whoa, what is that? Literally just like around your heart, like some in circles almost. So there was that, and I was like, wow, this is neither an emotion. It's not trying to get me to do something. It's not a feeling that is allowing me to do something about the emotion, predetermined one, but I've noticed this feeling coming up, or this sensation is stemmed from when you create a future or you create an event, and then it goes this way. You imagine vividly something, and then it just goes into your heart, and then it just starts rotating in there like this. And so you have all these questions and thoughts and ideas that aren't answered, and it's just like floating there. That energy is floating. Like imagine as if there's the heart is in the center, and it's like there. And so I'll call that, for lack of better words, it's when we have a vivid imagination of something, a situation, or a potential future, and or when we have way too many questions that are not getting answered or can't get answered because someone else has to respond or something else has to happen before the next thing happens. When you're in that state, you get that rolling energy inside of you. I'm just gonna, for lack of better terms, call it sensation, like I said. Yeah. So I recognized that, and I had that twice today, and I noticed that, and then when I went backwards, and other times when I had that, and I consciously remembered this and bookmarked these experiences in my life, I was like, wow, holy wow, holy wow. So now there's emotions, there's feelings, and then just sensations, this sensation. Name TBD, to be determined. I was speaking with a very, very good friend today, and we were just texting back and forth. And there's a phrase that kept rolling in my mind. Yesterday, I met with a local friend here on Oahu, where I'm living right now. It's somebody who I met on Clubhouse, then we stayed in touch through Instagram, and we would watch each other's stories and touch base every once in a while. Yesterday, we finally got to meet in person. Her name is Karen. She does this thing called Letting Go with Aloha. Definitely check it out. So this is us yesterday at the end of our meeting. We would grab some of this good tea. I was eating and all of a sudden my fork snapped in half because I was trying to get into some meat. And then in my mind, instantly like, oh, now I could use a half fork and the other broken part as a knife or stuff to stick, like use as a knife. And I just said that, I'm like, oh, look, I got a knife now. And she just laughed and said, where do you get that kind of thinking? And so I was thinking, and I realized years ago I came to a conclusion. I still actually remember where this was. It was my job at a company in Albany, New York, where I really realized and recognized this, which I would like to share with you. And this is the last thing I would like to share tonight. There are certain smiles you can fake. Right? Look at this. That's a smile. Then there's more of a realistic smile when you smile with your eyes. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of fake it. It would be hard to tell. Still, faked smile can be faked. There are certain smiles in people, and there's very few people like that. When you see it, you know that there's something special. I call them the earned smile. When they smile, holy mamma mia tamale, señor, por favor, you just want to ask them, like, what? And I say, that's an earned smile. Because that person had to go through the dark night of the soul. And they chose not to give up, but to wait until the sunrise and embrace those rays. And now they... So when you see these people, it's magnetic. It's electromagnetic because they took on those rays. They made a decision when the brain could have gotten down this black hole of distress and angst and whatever they were going through. They said, and then they're like, I don't need to do this. I don't need to go down the black hole. Radiate it out. Be a radiator. There we go. Be a sun. Be a radiator. And those people, so that's what I shared with her. Like, some people just earn it. And then I told her a story why I look at life like this, because I had some interesting experiences where I could have went dark or choose to be light. Light in the sense, choose to be happy with life. Okay, today I want to do this in 10 minutes. It's 9:18 and counting. The dark night of the soul, when you see those people who earn their smiles, man, it's beautiful. And I was sharing that with my friend today, that she definitely has that kind of smile, and that whatever she had to go through, I thanked her and I said, thank you for going through that dark night and sticking through it and sharing that with us. So when you see somebody like this, you'll know when you see them, thank them. Say, hey, you're awesome. You got a beautiful smile. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. Go for it. On that note, you have a great evening, and until tomorrow.